Hello and welcome back to my channel. Scary Stories with Kyler. Today we're gonna be talking about one of my favorite shows out on Netflix, Stranger Things. This is gonna be a 3-part video. So we're gonna get into it here. Okay. Have you ever wondered, where a Demogorgon comes from? It originally came from the Game of Thrones. And Mike, Lucas, Dustin, and Will played Game of Thrones. And Will was supposed to roll a 14 or higher, and he rolled, I believe it was an 8. He says to Mike, I rolled an 8, the Demogorgon. It got me. So on his way home, something was standing in the middle of the road, humanoid looking, and his bike, he crashed his bike and he ran home. And he tried calling the police. The police weren't there. The monster basically didn't let him call the police. And so he runs out to the barn and he gets a 22 gun and he loads it nervously, waiting for the monster to come and get him. And all of a sudden the light shines brightly, and bing, Will is gone. Now, everybody kinda goes on with their day, and they don't know where Will is. Mrs. Byers, she starts destroying her house trying to find Will. And in the meantime, all this is happening, Mike stumbles across a girl with a shaped head that has telepathy and telekinesis, aka 11. Now, back in the 60s, mind experiments were really big. Scientists always had some kind of theory about telepathy and telekinesis, and there's just been so many documented studies of that stuff. Now, it's interesting when a human can use a certain part of their mind to move things and to even go in between the worlds, like the Upside Down and the real world. That little space in between there, if you guys didn't know and actually seen the show, that space in between the world and the Upside Down is called the Void. It's in between our worlds. And so the first three episodes are actually the first four are kind of boring, but things start going haywire in episode 5. And they decide, Joyce and Hopper, I don't think I told you about Hopper. Hopper is the police chief of Hawkins. They go and they look for Will in the Upside Down because Joyce thinks he's still alive. You know, she was talking to him through the lights. She even wrote down the alphabet on the wall. And she just didn't accept the fact that her son was dead. No, it takes a real mother to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. My kid is alive. And I'm going to find him. That takes a strong woman to do something like that. Very strong woman. And Nancy and Jonathan decide to set a trap for the Demogorgon and set up traps all over the buyer's house. And their plan is to kill the monster. Okay? We will get to that in a minute. Now, they are all at the school, and they build a saltwater tank. I don't know the long name of it, so Eleven can travel in between the worlds, find Barbara and Will. Barbara was taken by the Demogorgon in episode 2. And Barbara's dead. It's really sad. She was actually a very, very good character in that show. And she found Will, so that's a good thing. So they go off and they go back to the lab. They get caught, and Joyce and Hopper make a deal with them. Hey, if you let us go and find her son, we will forget that any of this ever happened. Which is a pretty good deal to me, because they were still messing around with mind-controlled experiments at the time. And so they agreed to that, as long as they were never to talk about what was actually happening at the lab. And they let him go and find her son. Now, which is really weird, is that only in episode 8, you only see Hopper's flashbacks of his daughter in that episode. You don't see it throughout the season, you know, which I thought would have made the story a little bit more complex of Hopper if they put that flash images of his daughter in there, not just in the last not in the last episode. You know, I think you could have spread that out throughout the whole entire first season. And so there's an egg while they're looking for Will. It looks like one of those eggs you would see in like alien movies. Yeah, if you've never seen Aliens before, and if you have, you know what I'm talking about. And that just makes me think that there's another Demogorgon out there. But that's for episode 3 of these videos. So they're going along in the Upside Down. They go to their house because they hear a noise, and in the meantime, Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve is technically Nancy's boyfriend still, and Steve beats the Demogorgon pretty badly, and he makes him step into a trap, and they set the Demogorgon on fire. Now, when they use the fire extinguisher to put out the fire, they look, and the Demogorgon's gone, and there's nothing there but a melted bear trap. And now we get back to Will, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, and Eleven. And Eleven's powers are basically drained at this point because she was looking into the void, looking for Will and Barbara. And so Dustin goes to look for something for her to eat, which is chocolate pudding. And they're in the cafeteria, and there's this scene where Mike tries to tell Eleven that he wants to be more than just friends. But he has a hard time saying this. It's almost like back towards the end of episode 7 where Nancy looks to Mike and she says, "Do you have a crush on 11?" And Mike goes, "Ew, no." And that just tells you that he does. You can't hide that, buddy. And so anyway, they kiss. It's a sweet little kiss. I mean, heck, they're only kids. They shouldn't be kissing, but hey, it makes for good entertainment. And the scientist at Hawkins' lab finds the kids, and they're chasing them down the hallways of the Hawkins Middle School, and they corner them, and 11 explodes all the scientists' brains using her powers. And the eyes start the eyes are bleeding, the nose are bleeding, and she shatters all their minds. And so it drains her power and it knocks her out. And Mike's trying to wake her up, and Papa comes along. If you don't know who Papa is, that's Eleven's father, or whatever he is. He's a scientist. He's an idiot. I don't like him, but he wants to take her back to the lab so he can make her well again. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to be with Mike. You know? And then all of a sudden, Demogorgon comes busting through the wall. And if you haven't seen the show, the Demogorgon kind of looks like a Venus flytrap with a human-like body. It's a creepy looking creature, that's for sure. And sorry, I'm getting a cold. And they go running into Mr. Clark's room. Mr. Clark is their science teacher. And they all think everything's all good. They think the government baddies killed the Demogorgon, right? Nope, the Demogorgon comes busting through the door, and they're he's on his way to get these kids. Lucas tries like 4 different times to kill the Demogorgon with his slingshot. Oh, and the last time he pulls back, something hits the Demogorgon and slams it right against the chalkboard on the wall. It's 11. Now here's the saddest part of the whole entire season to me. She uses her powers to save Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. And she kills the monster, and she disappears. Now we all think she's dead, right? Well, hold on. This is the interesting part. We'll talk about this more in the episode next week. And the good part is that Hopper and Joyce are in the Upside Down, and they find Will. They have to perform CPR on him, but they found Will. And everything's all good. You know, Hopper gets into a mysterious car. You don't know what the heck is going on there. You know, Will's okay. He's not good, but he's okay. He's out of the Upside Down, mainly. And the Demogorgon is destroyed. You think it would be a happily ever after, right? No. A month goes by. It's Christmas time. Mike's missing 11. Nancy replaces Jonathan's camera for the one that Steve broke, because Steve broke his camera for taking nude pictures of Nancy at a party. And poor Will, he's still consumed by the Upside Down. Even though he's out, he can still feel it. He throws up a slug down the sink, and gets a flashback of the Upside Down. And Joy, Mrs. Byers, Jonathan, and Will sit down to a Christmas meal, and that is what I'm going to tell you all about season 1. So anyway, I know I missed a couple spots, But if you have seen this movie, you can fill in the blanks that I missed. I just figured it was easier to just tell main parts of the Stranger Things season. Okay. Remember, like, subscribe. You know, I like doing these videos. I want to keep on doing it. And I'm really looking for your support for you guys. You guys been wonderful in checking out my videos. So I will see you all next week for part 2, season 2 of Stranger Things. Okay, well, we'll see you next week. Okay, bye.